Welcome back. You're still watching Politics Tonight, digging beyond the headlines. And now to our interview with the second guest of the day. I am joined by the candidate of the Socio-Democratic Party, SDP in Delta State, Kenneth Gbagi, for discussion on the fallout of the state governorship election. Gbagi is a criminologist, entrepreneur, lawyer, and philanthropist. He's also a former Minister of Education. Thank you very much for joining us this evening, sir.
Very good evening to you.
Now, let's begin with politics in Delta State. How will you describe it?
Quite unfortunate. We had it all going well. We had the mixture of the good, the bad, and the ugly. But the last 8 years has been a mirage of unfortunate occurrences that the entire country has come to know as the most backward state in the country. The state where leadership says what he does not mean and mean what he does not say. So to that extent, it's unfortunate. We funded the PDP as it were, and we gave it our shot, waited for our turn. The governor, the outgoing governor, as you now know him, leaves very little to be desired of him. A man who says good morning and he actually means good night. A man who says good night, he means good morning. A man who tells you to wait and you should be running. At one point in the life of Delta State, he was seen as my closest friend, my closest brother. He used to call me brother. And everybody across the globe had come to know him to be that. Just for instance, he was the one who put the entire governors, all the country together in Delta State and said that on no account should they have a president that is not from the South-South. He granted a press conference, issued a communique, and it turned out to be that he was lying to himself. So we now know what it is. Everything in Delta needs to be rechecked all over because we have lived with the most deceitful human being that nature has bequeathed to the state to date. So it's unfortunate politically for us.
Interesting. Now, you were the SDP candidate in Delta State in the 2023 elections. I would like you to describe the outcome of that election.
The election itself would have been wonderful. The election itself would have been a thing of joy. But where you have a man who is so desperate, having lost the vice presidential bid, he launched an attack on the entire election for the governorship, hijacked everything, and sat down in his bedroom and allocated numbers to people as he deemed fit or deemed fit, all just to believe that no matter what happened, to hell with it, I will bribe the court as he's known to do. I will bribe the judges. I will bribe people and I'll get my way. Unfortunately, life has moved. You saw the other day, policemen being tried to be bribed in Nigeria. They have rejected bribe as much as 800 million. I know judges, benefit of hindsight. I was seated in a sitting room one day when Okowa brought $100,000 to bribe a judge. And that judge shouted, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" And he knelt down and said, I'm sorry. So he knows nothing else. It's been his character to bribe and be dodgy. You see this mien as though he's a gentleman, but beneath that gentleness look is a hard criminal that needs to be dealt with properly. Having said so, the election result is not what is being touted around. But my joy is this. We petitioned all the candidates who ab initio are not qualified. I mean, if you didn't go to school, you say you went to school and you filed those results and swear to an affidavit with INEC and the courts. You are not qualified if it is found out that you are not qualified. A very similar case is the man who says he has an NYC result. The Director General says, I'm waiting for you in the court. It's not my result. No matter what you do, it becomes so apparent that you have done it wrongly, that you are ab initio a criminal. And the petition we filed is very clear. All of them have replied, including INEC. And let me take it in that sequence. INEC is the umpire of the election. INEC have said that everything I have said, that the election is not free and fair and they violated the electoral rule, they did not transmit the electoral result by beavers and all of that. INEC has agreed that that was the case. So what are we talking about? INEC even went further, unfortunately, to say that, yes, you may be right, but why are you suing all the other candidates? They did not look at section 42, subsection 2 of the Electoral Act. That gives me the window to sue even as much as 20 of them if they were not qualified, and I feel that they were an infringement to my election. So that, for me, INEC has done very well. INEC have confirmed that in any case, it did not conduct election against the laws that say you should conduct election with beavers. If that is the case, that's why I have 2 pranks of my application or petition. Petition number 1 is that all these persons are not qualified.
Please, before you get
and
to
we have
that,
showed documentation to the effect that they are not qualified.
Before you get to that, you have talked about this, before you get to your application and tribunal, you have talked about this in bits, but for the sake of, let's expatiate now. Despite coming a distant fifth, you claim the election was rigged. Why did you say so? And do you have cast iron evidence?
The facts are the facts. The fact is that all the 4 candidates ahead of what Okowa put together as candidates in their numbers, they are not persons to contest election in the first place. And all that I've said, I have produced documentary evidence. I've produced papers to show that they forged papers, they brought fake papers, they are not supposed to qualify. Contradict it in the court. I mean, it's my legal right, not just being a lawyer, it's my legal right for me to say, if you say Peter is contesting an election with me, and Peter did not go to primary school or secondary school, and Peter say he went, let Peter produce the contrary information to the effect. So I don't have a problem. So I am saying they were not qualified. The legal documents to that effect are there for everybody to see, for the world to check. If they are not qualified, who is qualified? If 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is not qualified, the 7th person that is qualified by God's grace is declared the winner. So let them come and tell the public if they are qualified and how they were qualified. And in any case, to make my case easy, all of them had replied the petition, and they have bought into my chip that they are not qualified. Now, so all that is left with Okowa, as is usually known to do, is that he believes that he can buy his way. But the judiciary, I tell you, is getting stronger. You know, the yearnings are far from the cry of people, you know, that it has to be done right. So I believe very strongly that before long, these facts will be there for people to know. The more we educate people to understand it, the better for all of us. Sheriff, who is the candidate of the PDP, I said, yes, I submitted forged result. I submitted fake result. I submitted fake papers, but I did not submit it again. But these documents were submitted before to the same INEC. You took oath, you swore to an affidavit and all of those. And they are in public domain. So what have I said? The APC candidate have said everything you said in the petition is correct, but a local court in Abuja has nullified it. I don't know how a local court in Abuja nullifies what a Supreme Court of America has said. It doesn't make sense. So all of that has been put together. We are waiting for justice to be done. Unless they can show us that those documents as contained in the petition of 1, 2, 3, 4 are not correct. And if they can show to that effect, which they've not done, I must tell you that they have replied. All the replies are in my favor, including INEC. We just wait for the D-Day for justice to be done to the people of Delta who are dying, who are groaning, and are in pain. Everybody know you, as this newscaster, you know you have family, you have brothers and sisters. We have been treated as though we don't belong to this clique of people. We have been treated as though Delta does not have a father and mother. I bring myself forward to say, I am the father of Delta today. I want to get it right. If the documentations are correct, if these people are forged papers, they are not supposed to contest election, let the tribunal do justice. And then that's what all Deltans and Nigerians are waiting for. Delta State is a microcosm of the entire country, and I can tell you that everybody believes that it's about time Delta State is liberated. That's my position.
Are you sure? So are you sure you'll be able to win in the tribunal?
When you use the word, if I was sure, against the background of the documentation and what we have, no tribunal in the world, I mean, for you to be bribed, for you to take bribe, you must know the outcome of it. You must have a loophole. These documents are cast in iron, and how do you want to do it? So what I'm saying is that based on the documentation we have submitted, and they have replied, it is clear that they themselves have given up that they are not people meant to be governors of a state, and they thought it was business as usual. I mean, the greatest mistake they made is that I am in the ballot. You cannot change it. You can see how Okowa went to the extent of getting Dawane, one illiterate, uneducated fellow, to say he was withdrawing the case. Legally, look at that. Legally, he has no powers to do so. It's only the national party that could have done something like that. But he collected some peanuts and what have you, bought some 1 or 2 small cars for him, and the man went to withdraw, write a lawyer who is not qualified, who is in fact running now, because that was an incursion against the legal and the ethics of the profession, that he was withdrawing SDP from the case, which the tribunal has dismissed him. But we're not leaving that lawyer to go scot-free, so we use it as a landmark thing to teach some other ones who want to behave like him as a lawyer. That man has told everybody that he's been in the party planted by Okowa in the last how many years to steal the mandate of SDP. If you look at it, one of the great big pastors of the Baptist church called me 2 days ago, and I said, Pastor, Bishop, where is your vote? He said, look, we two together, Baptist church, we have 566 branches of the church. All of us, our members, voted for you. If the Catholic, the Anglican church, the Pentecostal church, the Celestial church, the CAC church, everybody said they voted for Gbagi, Okowa merely just sat down and allocated numbers the way he wanted it. But my joy is that they have agreed with me that that was what happened. INEC have said the election was not conducted in line with the Electoral Act. I'm vindicated. All we are now waiting for is justice. And in any case, our option 2 prayer is that, would you not declare us as governor immediately? The option 2 is to immediately declare a re-election, and all those criminals, by their record and their party, are excluded from participating. And if that happens, it means only SDP will be at the contest, because there's no other party on the ground that is known to the people. So if all the church voted, Delta State is a 95% membership of Christianity and what you have. If they all voted as they claim they have done, what happened to their vote? They are shouting. They are all calling me. The entire state across the globe, everybody is calling me to say, we voted, what happened? Everybody knew what happened. Okowa is an expert in things like this, and unfortunate, I don't know at this end of his time why he will choose to destroy whatever is left of him. It's a shame. And I am saying very categorically, we are very optimistic that the tribunal will do what is right, no matter what.
Now, Chief Kenneth, how much support are you getting from the national leadership of your party? Because I see that the state executive says you are on your own, and according to the state chairman, he says you were not ready for the election. He says you didn't pay a single agent. He says they have rejected you, and embarrassing enough, they said they did not vote for you. So, how much support are you getting from the national leadership of your party?
The fellow you just referred to now has been dismissed from the party for anti-party by his own self, by his own account, has told the world that he was a mole in SDP all along. He's been dismissed by the national NWC of the party. He's no longer a member of the SDP, as you have seen. He claimed he has joined an NGO. He's been a tout, actually, and then nothing to that effect. He was on his own. In fact, what happened, if you want to pour into that, which is very shameful. If you see our state returning officer, Michael Dubo, his card, because he will not buy into the cheap of criminality, his card for the election to be a returning officer was printed dubiously with another name from Okowa's village. Shameful acts. I mean, you cannot, in this day and time where you cannot hide anything, commit such volume of criminality and expect that you'll go scot-free. I'm saying, I don't want to talk to those few cronies, the chairman who has been dismissed, with few of them. The party is intact. You would have seen the party and the new chairmanship, which is Mrs. Ikure, who was the deputy state chairperson. They are doing their work as a SDP member, and I think they are doing very well, The most important thing for us to realize is that Wednesday, the tribunal is going to open the pre-trial, and by the grace of God, before long, Deltans will rejoice again. Before long, the entire country. Don't forget that we have Deltans across the whole country and the world, and these people have lived with disbelief as to what is happening in Delta. My worry is that why are so much docility? Why are they there? One man, one family, and himself is turning the run. He wants to take everything. He wants to produce governor. He wants to produce House of Assembly. He wants to produce everything in the state. Such an important state. We were one of the greatest and the best educated state in Nigeria. Suddenly, Delta has become the last in the queue of states that has anything to do. Everything you hear about Delta is a lie. I timed it at the time that Delta has become the headquarters of lies and, misinformation. But by the grace of God, everything that has a beginning must have an end. I know Okowa has reached its end. God has manifested that much. Let us pray and see how it goes. We are hopeful. Let the tribunal do his job, and the world is there to look, watch, and see the outcome of their decisions. He has no business other than just bribing people. He has one essay in which we told the world that that's what they do. That's all they do. They don't do any other thing. They don't believe in judgment. He knew. And for me to tell you the truth, Okowa and I sat down, and I told him that this boy is an ex-convict. I told him categorically that this boy, he's using his senior brother's certificate. The senior brother, Francis, who was a pastor, he never went to any primary school. The mother was my tenant. I knew him to his house. I knew him every day. So what I'm saying to you is that the boy cannot read and write. Okowa is just looking for a third term, somebody he believes he could masquerade and do whatever he wants to do. He doesn't believe in election in itself. Tell me one star project. Tell me. Wiki told us, federal government said they gave us so much money. He said he did not see the money. How? So it's all lies. Don't believe anything coming from that, Leave all of this charade. The most important thing is that I told him, and he called him up. He called the boy. He said, oh, you went to confess that you were an ex-convict? I was the former chairman of the Legal Aid Council of Nigeria. I visited him in prison. All those certificates he's parading, all those papers, belongs to his brother Francis, the pastor. So we know the details of what we have. And we have the same for everybody who had contested the election. And if all those certificates are fake in our day and time as a Nigerian, as a country, there's no way anybody can, vilify it or take it out of the realm and say, you are governor. That man can never be a governor in Delta, and the facts are there for everybody to see.
All right. But Chief Kenneth, some people say the SDP is not a veritable platform for you to realize your governorship ambition. Why did you join the party?
For your information, PDP was not in Delta. We took PDP. When I took PDP and I was contesting for the primaries of PDP, Okowa was contesting for a local government chairmanship. We made the party what it is. And for you to understand very quickly, since the day I left PDP, PDP has lost the meat, the cream, the la cream of membership of PDP to zero. There's nothing left other than the small cronies and bits and pieces of people who Okowa is masquerading. Name any human being that is in PDP today with him. Nobody. Everybody has left. And that was after I left. That was how the whole party cascaded. The fact remains that you can take a cow to the stream, but you cannot force the cow to drink water. Okowa has killed the party. Okowa is telling you, come, come. What he's doing is different. But everybody has come to know Okowa across the country. He has lost face. He has lost credibility. So who? No, party by itself does not mean anything. It's people that make party. SDP became the greatest party in Nigeria, and 90% of every Nigerian was an SDP member when Abiola won the election in his 1983 election. Abiola made it what it is. After that, PDP won election in Delta State with great man like Felix Ibru, who became a governor by the merit of election. And they went down. This young criminal, okay, as you said, was there for 10 years and killed the party. He was just in the party every election time. He comes up as a governorship candidate, sell the whole thing and collect 5 million, 10 million, little money, because, I mean, that was his fitless arrangement. Now, I came. You will testify that after I took over the ticket of the party, I made the party truly national. Everybody knew the party. We went to places. We went to every local government. We went to every king. The endorsements are there for you to see. Every church in Delta State, take the Anglican Church, for instance, where Okowa is a member. The primate of the Anglican, those are the bishop, the Archbishop of the Anglican Church, Odutemu, with all the 7 dioceses, we visited and they all gave their blessing. Take the Catholic Church, we did the same. Take the CAC Church, we did the same. Take the Baptist Church, we did the same. We went everywhere because the membership or the persons that are voting in Delta State are Christians. So when people started laughing at me as though I had made some mistake, yes.
All right, so
yes,
now, inauguration of a new government, I'm sorry, I have to touch that because our time is fast running. So inauguration of a new government is a week away. What are your expectations?
You cannot put something on nothing. They can go on with the charade of inaugurating governor or whatever they are saying, but I can tell you that at the appropriate time, you will come and confirm that it's not true. You cannot, in today's particular world, put something on nothing. The governorship candidate, as is being touted, is not qualified ab initio to be a candidate, and the Constitution says so, the Electoral Act said so, INEC have said so. All we are waiting for is the D-Day. It will happen the way it has happened in Nigeria in several cases.
So, Chief Kenneth, what are your expectations? And if you were to advise the president-elect, what are the 4 critical areas you will want him to focus on?
You see, the president-elect has got a lot of duties and situations to correct. We tried as much as possible when I was the Minister for Education to do a bit. The president-elect is not unknown to me. I will try and reach out to him and provide some advice and solution from somebody coming from this other part of it. I wonder what people are saying, what has been declared a winner, as it were. Let us wait and see, to see that he can bring the necessary change, if that is the case. And Nigerians should take it the way it has come, if that is where we are. But with regards to Nigeria, we have a lot of mileage to cover. We have a lot of things to put in place. A lot of things are wrong, very much so. And unless we correct them, we'll wake up one day and Nigeria is nowhere.
Thank you very much. All right, I must say very big thank you to you tonight for coming on the program of speaking with the candidate of the Social Democratic Party, SDP in Delta State, Chief Kenneth Gbagi, for discussion on the fallout of the state governorship election in that state. And I must say, we wish you the very best with your case in the tribunal. Thank you very much for finding time to join us tonight. Thank you very much, Chief.